Hello once again! The Sunday Spotlight returns tonight with the Hong Kong Massacre, a 2019 top-down shooter. This game is basically if Hotline Miami wanted to put on the John Woo mask. There's not a lot going on story-wise. It's pretty much a straightforward getting revenge for your dead partner plot. I'm not sure our protagonist even gets a name, but it's a perfectly fine setup for a bunch of spectacle fights, showing the many exotic ways that bullets can destroy the environment. Now, they're also pretty good at destroying humans, and like Hotline Miami, that includes you. One hit by any weapon, and you have to start the level over. Now, I couldn't find out much about the developer, Vresky. It appears to be a two-person team based in Sweden. Oh, hey, Orange, good to see you. But yeah, feel free to lurk and just chill. But yeah, Vresky appears to be a two-person team based in Sweden. This is their only game so far. They appear to be working on, or were last working on, some first-person action game. But they actually got a very recent shout out from the makers of John Wick 4. Apparently, an action scene in the movie was directly inspired by this game's perspective and kind of flashy approach to gunplay. The director gave them a direct thumbs up in an interview last month, which I think is a nice little nod to a relatively low-profile title. Honestly, while it's not a mechanically complex game, I think it's very good looking in motion and does what it sets out to do. Let's get in and I'll show you what I mean. So, yeah, we have our three difficulties: easy, medium, and hard. Kind of amusing that they never actually fixed the typo, but what can you do? Anyway, yeah, we'll start from scratch. There's a fellow that needs a little bit of tequila. Just a bit. Just a bit. Alright, 4 days earlier, June 10th, 1992, Hong Kong. Welcome back. I've been waiting for you. Still drinking old-fashioned? Here you go, for old time's sakes. So the time's finally come. Got all the information that you wanted about the two-headed dragon. I think you should start with returning to the tea house. Of course, we gotta get in the hard-boiled reference. I wish you good luck. So yeah, we're kind of doing this in flashback sequence. A lot of this stuff has already happened, and we'll be kind of explaining the levels we go through to a police investigator that follows the wake of our various massacres throughout Hong Kong. Yep, you got your doves taking off. Like I said, it's ultimately a pretty thin plot, but they hit the mood they're going for. It definitely hits the style of the John Woo's Hong Kong flicks. Alright, so the main thing besides shooting is you unlock weapons and perks with points based on your performance. It's a pretty simple metric, and you get a point for completing levels under the par time, another point if you do it without slow-mo, and a third if you do it with perfect accuracy. The first two are pretty reasonable, the third, not so much. But yeah, you can always replay levels, especially after you've unlocked perks to make them easier. Anyway, let's get through our little tutorial level here. So I want you to pay attention to the stuff that happens in the background as bullets impact surfaces. Like, you see the doors have kind of physics as they get knocked around, things explode, chunks of tile and glass, wood just blast off, you get nice little blood effects. Oop. Out of ammo here. There we go, mission accomplished. That's the thing, particle effects really can add a lot to the kinetic feel of a game. Alright, so we didn't quite get under par time. We didn't quite complete it without slow motion. I hit the spacebar on accident. So let's give that another try. So let's, here we go. Yeah, it's kind of a small selection here. You got your pistol, shotgun, SMG, and rifle. They diversify it rather nicely with their unique perks. And overall, it's a pretty easy game to get in and just start playing. Yeah, it's that kind of game. So, other than slow-mo, we have power sliding. Observe. Other than looking stylish and getting you over obstacles, it makes you temporarily invulnerable, which is extremely important. Like, if you run out of ammo, you grab a weapon someone dropped and you keep killing, but your context-sensitive slide dodge is super helpful. It actually lets you get around things you otherwise can't. And the animation here isn't perfect. They try to make it fit. Let's see. Under the part-time, which is good. I accidentally tapped slow motion. Let's try that one more time. Yeah, the slide dodge has the iframes. And sometimes it does, like, weird little flips and such. That's kind of what I was getting at. Let's try that one more time. Ah, shit, out of bullets. There we go. So yeah, there's a great style to this game in motion that's kind of hard to capture in stills, but everything feels really good. Alright, beat the part time, no slow motion, perfect. Now we can actually unlock a weapon. But yeah, it's a little bit janky with respect to body physics, it's just sliding around, but it's just so useful you'll basically be doing it all the time. And, you know, really, why wouldn't you want to power slide everywhere or shotgunning everything? Yeah, here's our man having a flashback. Bad dudes did something bad. Go kill them. That's pretty much all the context we need. Alright. Knocking at the door. Here we go. Part time is 40 seconds here. Alright, let's unlock the shotgun. Yes, sir. So yeah, a lot of my enjoyment of this game is just the environmental damage and the physicality of combat. Like I said, bullets kick up clouds of dust and debris. They punch through... Oh, that got me. Like I said, one hit and it's over. But you restart quickly. Sometimes you get lucky. Not a bad thing to be. Ah, shit. Yeah, the shotgun's kind of nice because it has a wide area of effect, and all you need to do is get it in the general direction of your enemy in order to score a kill. It is slightly limited in effectiveness at range, but not so much as video games usually do. Grab these Uzis here to finish it. Ah, shit. We're getting ridiculously unlucky. Yeah, it happened. That's the trade-off with the shotgun. The spread is difficult to predict. Past a certain range, it is not all that reliable. Ah. Let's try this again. Unfortunately, you are not penalized for any number of retries. That's not factored into your score. All you gotta do is be fast. You don't have to be good on your first try. Now you saw there the door kind of bounce off the machine gun. That is very much a factor in gameplay. They'll block bullets to a point, but they'll eventually break down. But until they do, they can be kind of effective limited cover. And if you're firing wildly with an automatic weapon, they can be kind of a pain in the ass to shoot through. But that works both ways. Got him! Hey, Chris's trip paid off. That's something, at least. Yeah, I know you got kind of an expensive month. Alright. Under the time limit, no slow-mo. Outstanding. Today, June 14th, 1992. So, 4 days later. So here's our framing device. This police officer is interrogating us. First interrogation with the suspect regarding the events that took place between June 10 and June 13. Present at the interrogation is police officers Siu Wong Lo and the suspect. Interrogation starts at 15:45. Motherfuck, that's some bright neon blue light back there. Date is June 14th, 1992. So let us start at the beginning. We know that you came back to Hong Kong on June 10, arriving 7:15 with flight 1435 from Bolivia. Oh, she's going to Germany. Nice. I'm now showing suspect surveillance footage from for the airport. We know that you arrived at Lu Cheng's restaurant at 20:05 and then made a visit to Tea House, killing some of Wei's child's goons. Not exactly sure how that's pronounced. Maybe Wise? Anyway, then at 2100, you knocked on the door at one of Wei's child's apartments down in Fuqiang Estate, used for drug distribution, trying to get into a bloodbath. So now let's talk about the events that took place after the apartment on June 10. So yeah, a lot of this stuff has already happened, and we're just kind of contextualizing it. So, here we go. Car trouble. Wei Xiao's car shop. Let's see. Let's see what we can upgrade next. Alright, so we got 4 here. So yeah, these are some of the perks you can unlock. Some are kind of basic in that they upgrade clip size and fire rate, but pistols have some unique stuff in that they can upgrade your actual movement speed, and they can get unlimited ammo, which is just pure... We're not trying to justify this, it's just to have fun. We'll stick with the shotgun for a while, and get some of the other guns upgraded, or unlocked. There's no real stealth mechanics to speak of. Once an enemy sights you, they're aware of your presence and can't be shaken off. Now, you saw there I was aiming at that guy in the white, but I hit that guy next to him. There's pretty significant pellet spread past a certain distance. You're gonna hit something, just not necessarily the thing you're aiming at. Let's grab the assault rifle here. Let's see, where's the door? Is it a window? Let's find out. Nope, it's not a window. Alright, we need the door here. Power slide, bitch! I don't even know if you're a bad guy. I'm just kind of shooting. Alright. Assault rifle is super handy. It's accurate. You get a pretty big magazine for it. Ah! The only drawback is sometimes the rate of fire can work against you. Exactly. Unlimited bullets do solve a lot of problems. Yeah, I try not to use slowmo too much in the early levels just because you want to get the guns unlocked as soon as possible. That opens up your options because you don't always start from a position that is advantageous with every weapon. Like sometimes first enemies will start out kind of long range and the shotgun is not terribly useful for effectively dealing with them. Ah, damn it. Hey, Robo! Good to see you. Doing alright. How you doing tonight? Just having a little John Woo action here. Ah, shit. Positions aren't exactly randomized per se. I think guards have like some variety to starting positions and where they'll patrol, but a lot of the level is fixed and it's just the emergent chaos of where things end up once guns start going off. Yeah, see, that area is kind of a bad area to have a shotgun for. Want something a little more accurate at range, so let's switch to this guy's pistols, which ironically enough do work a little bit better in this situation. I'll take that. How to post your schedule? Excellent, excellent. Just flip everywhere, slide everywhere. That is your most trustworthy friend after your firearm in this game. Yeah, you see the guard was a little bit further away from the door, didn't spot us immediately there. We just got lucky there. Ooh, last shot. Got him. More 7 Saga. Nice. That goes back a ways. Like, Nice. Got both of those. Excellent, excellent. It's one of those games I haven't thought about in a while. Don't ever remember actually beating, but have kind of a weird fondness for just because it kind of had some interesting ideas to it. Like the selectable protagonist, the fact that you could encounter people in... You encounter your other recruitables wandering the world and in different positions. Some would turn out to be villains. Interesting stuff was going on in that game. Alright, let's unlock the rest of these. Alright. Let's see. Now, hold off on that and try to get a better bigger magazine for these. But yeah, like I said, a lot of my enjoyment in this game is just the excellent attention to bullet physics and the way that the environment impacts. Yeah, it's very on style for the John Woo aesthetic, which Civi once accurately summed up as, if you shoot a 200-page book, 400 pages fly out. Like movies like A Better Tomorrow, The Killer, Hard Boiled. Pretty much all of John Woo's Hong Kong movies in the 80s and 90s were about big set-piece gunfights, and everything was just set up to justify that. Oh, that's right, that did get a sequel. A lot of games in that area were like that, where you'd get kind of one-off entries in an installment that didn't quite make the jump for various reasons. I know it didn't do terribly well stateside, but it is kind of interesting that it did get a follow-up that just never made it over here. Hey, twofer! Nice! Gonna need something a little more accurate for this guy. Nice! That's just it. You're gonna die a lot in this game, but when everything clicks and you finally get that last kill, realizing you just emptied out a whole room full of bad guys, it feels great. But sadly, we didn't quite get into the clear time, so let's try that again. Ah, shit, where's the last one? Ah, of course. Oh, Brainlord. Yeah, that's another one of those games of that era that, like, maybe made it to a rental shelf at some point, and I didn't like, probably got this preview with some Game Informer, like, you know, like a copy of Game Informer, and then just kind of disappeared, and I never really thought about it again. I guess NES was kind of, had a ton of games like that. Where it just, they would get enough attention to get localized, but not really enough support to have to develop any kind of following, but then quietly develop kind of a cult status of their own. I kind of miss that era, honestly. Alright, next level. Vengeance is my only friend. We're just getting some straight-up edgy titles here. Warehouse of the Dragon. Now we should be able to get some upgrades here. So, almost 10 clip size. Fire rates. Ooh, almost enough for unlimited ammo. But I kind of like the rifle. We'll get that first. Hey, buddy! Oh, yeah! Like that this guy hasn't noticed anything here. Whoosha! Now, you notice that guy there did a tumble as well. Your enemies aren't as intelligent about doing power slides to get away from danger. But they do get... Yeah, you see that guy right there dodged away and was able to avoid incoming fire. This is that kind of universe. Everybody has access to power slide, but only a few become masters of it. Ah, shit. But yeah, it's that combination of the fact that you are incredibly lethal, but also incredibly vulnerable that I find kind of compelling about this. You're just constantly on the knife's edge of control, and sometimes it's just utter chaos as you try to get through an area. Oop, I saw the body spaz out there. But yeah, you're just barely staying ahead of incoming gunfire. And you're seeing the results of those that did not. That's a big thing that kind of made Hotline Miami work, is that you were a credible threat to your enemies, but they were just as dangerous to you, and it's pretty much your ability to respawn and sheer luck that gets you through it. So when it finally does click and you clear a level, it feels special. Like, just, it came apart in a way that only you would have pulled off. Oh yeah, I love the music in this game. More on that in a second. I'm gonna have to switch here. Got him. Yeah, the music deserves the attention. Some of it's kind of moody and slips into the background, just kind of quietly complementing the action, but it's got quite a few standout tracks that kind of elevate the level into something special. The lone artist credited on the soundtrack is Professor Click. That's K-L-I-Q. Kind of non-vocal electronica with some traditional string and piano work. Here. Back already? One old-fashioned coming up. You want to know the secret of the old-fashioned? Well, the secret is the brown sugar I use. It's made on the island of Ishigaki. My great-grandfather got it from a Japanese prisoner during the war. It was there during the Battle of Nenjam Hunan Guangxi. I'm almost certainly mangling the pronunciation here, I apologize, that he invented the old-fashioned you are drinking now. Legend says it'll give you the strength and courage to defeat your enemies. So now you know our family secret. Enough of that now. I heard rumors that the two-headed dragon has taken over the Red Dragon restaurant at Keelung Street. Good fortune. Don't forget to upgrade your weapons, you're going to need it. Thanks, bartender. That's definitely not going to attract police attention. That happened to be listening in. G. Okay, Z is G. Gotcha. Realistic look is cool. Reminds me of Door Kickers 2. That's the thing. A lot of the attention in this game is placed on the movement of the models and the interaction of the environment more than the actual design of the characters and such. This is entirely a game that's just about appreciating the action and not worrying too much about the context. But yeah, I wanted to try Door Kickers 2. I heard that was actually pretty fun. Also, hey Ash, good to see you. Alright, looks like we got enough for an upgrade here. We'll save up for something a little more exotic. We will grab the pistols, though. I do like the feel of the duels here. Yeah, I'll take you up on that. Sounds fun. Well, that was a shit show. Somehow it worked, though. I'll take that. I know there was one more guy around here. Aha! Alright. Where's the other one? Ah, up here. Not the best entry point, but it'll work. Oh, it works until it doesn't. Ah. Sometimes your entry depends on your ability to readjust your aim as enemies move around you. That'll depend entirely on how quick you are with a mouse. I think it has gamepad support. I'd be shocked if it didn't. Actually, I think there was supposed to be a Switch release at some point. I don't know if they ever went through with that. But it is a pretty simple action game, so I can't imagine why they wouldn't. You'll notice the enemies are color-coded. Each one corresponds to whatever weapon they're holding. It's kind of a nice little detail. It does, again, simplify things, but it's very good for at-a-glance feedback over what you're up against and who's coming after you. Like, you'll eventually catch on, alright, red guys have assault rifles, the orange tan guys have Uzis, white guys have shotguns, and that guy just shot me in the face. Ah! Oh, shit. That was just dumb luck, but I'll take it. Let's see. Alright, so that guy's still there. Not the best course of action. Sometimes you do want to take your time and find a better entry point. But if you're trying to beat the time, you don't always have the luxury. And this is definitely a kind of game where it feels good to smoothly move from room to room and just take enemies out as fast as you can. Ah, damn. Mutual kill. Yeah, this is one of the trickier levels. Anytime you got areas like these restaurants that have a lot of open spots, a lot of doors and entry points, a lot of windows that people can see through and shoot through, you're probably going to be retrying them a lot. And I ran out of ammo there. But again, you're not punished for the number of tries it takes. Only your efficiency on the one that succeeds. Yoink. Sometimes it's not a bad idea to open a door, kick up a hornet's nest, and let them come to you. Not always a good idea, but at the very least, it can defang an encounter, or at least spring a trap early. One more guy in here somewhere. There you are. Ah, motherfucker! There's always that one guy at the end. It can be a bit risky trying to shoot enemies through doors. Like I said, they take some fire, and sometimes it can be just enough to prevent an enemy from taking a bullet. Does it? I see you. Nice! There we go. But yeah, back to the soundtrack. It's mostly... The only artist credit on there is Professor Click. I don't know how much of the soundtrack is them, but they have some great contributions here. One in particular is called Pangea. It's for a restaurant level later on. Just perfectly tuned for this kind of game. Look it up if you get a chance. But yeah, this definitely sold me on the artist. Anyway, here's our first boss. This guy weighs Chow, the rat. Bosses are interesting. They're not one-hits. You actually do have a health meter you gotta wear down. And this is a case where you do want to be careful with your weapon selection. Shotguns generally aren't too good with what they're trying to do here. In fact, the rifle seems to be mostly ideal for this. In fact, we will... we'll save up for now. But yeah. It's essentially a running shootout. So yeah. So yeah, have standard mooks in front of you, and the boss off to the side. Both are shooting at you. And you need to alternate the pressure between them. Otherwise, one or the other will get you. It's a little bit fiddly, to be perfectly honest. I like what it's trying to do. And, you know, like the rest of the game, it honestly looks great in motion. Here we go. They'll sort of keep up with you. They kind of move as you do, so you're under less pressure than you think you are. In fact, I want to save up. Ah, shit. But yeah, you can kind of see here where some weapons would put you at a little bit of a disadvantage, because if you don't have enough ammo, you can run dry when you're up against the mook enemies right here. In fact, it's not a terrible idea to go back and forth and just sort of wear them down, then switch weapons. Ah, shit. With the particle effect going on, sometimes your cursor can kind of get lost in the shuffle. There is an eventual endpoint where they'll stop and you'll have to confront them. But still enough cover to work with. Damn. Alright. Alright, it's about half dead. Oop. They will try to flush you out, so eventually you'll have to keep moving. Ah, shit. These are definitely some of the more challenging and not necessarily more interesting parts of the game. Unfortunately, there's only a few of them. One at the end of every section, and I think there's 5 in total. Alright, come on, you little bastard. Shit. Part of the problem is because he can tank the hits and you can't, he can kind of stand out in the open and wait for you to expose yourself. So it's a bit tricky. This is where you definitely want to... I mean, you always want to be spamming your dive maneuver. But it's especially important here. I think until you get to the end, they won't ever cross over, so you mostly only have to worry about the random mooks on this side. Unfortunately, that's still plenty to worry about. The death counter is going to be very high for this game, suffice to say. There we go. Getting there. Alright. Want to be real careful. We're getting them down. Let's get one more move here. I think this will be enough. Let's see if we can finish him off. Damn. Yeah, see, we're cornered here, and now it becomes a cat and mouse game. There we go. Got him. Alright. Yeah, death 15. Sounds about right. Fortunately, these missions aren't timed or anything for extra points. So it's just about taking down the boss. Also, this got weirdly loud all of a sudden. Game's not really going to explain most of this. It's just kind of context-free man on a mission vignettes. Most of it comes through these cutscenes here. Interrogation continues. Time is 16:45, June 14, 1992. So let us back the clock a little to June 10, 1991. You were a highly... see the typo there. You were a highly decorated police detective at the Hong Kong Police Force. You and your partner made the biggest drug bust in Hong Kong police history, shutting down one of the two-headed dragon's biggest drug lab. After that, you and your partner got a prize on your heads from the two-headed dragon. Your partner ended up dead and you in a hospital. Then you suddenly disappeared from the hospital. Everyone assumed that you were killed as well. 1 year later, you show up in Hong Kong and all hell breaks loose. Is there something I'm missing here? If you do not want to talk, I cannot help you. So after you killed Wei's Chow, you made a little visit to the Chang Wong gang that's a mouthful, down in Kowloon Tong. So tell me a little more about what went down that day, starting with the Chang Wong gang. Oh, yeah. Time for everybody to Chang Wong tonight. Alright. Almost enough points for one of the fun upgrades. Can you fly, punks? Alright. But yeah, the thing I liked about Wu's Hong Kong stuff is the gunplay. Oh, so here's a thing first. So you use your dodge maneuver to get over these, and it's kind of like you just kind of barely make it. You can fall over the edge if you don't start far enough. So it is something you want to be watchful for because there are ring outs in this game, and it's kind of janky too. In fact, I'll see if I can kind of intentionally do it. Like you see, the game's kind of freaking out. There we go. I think I landed on the scaffolding. Yeah, something you want to be mindful for. But yeah, the thing about the Hong Kong movies is that the gunplay was stylish, but it was also kind of messy and brutal. You get that in the visuals here. Like, I enjoyed the first John Wick movie as a point of comparison, but I feel kind of like the later ones structured the action too rigidly. Like in the second one, Wick is planning a shotgun knowing he's going to be back through that tunnel with, you know, a whole bunch of bad guys on his heels. And he knows he's going to need a replacement weapon just at that moment. Or when him and the other assassin are shooting at each other through a fountain, full view of the public, and nobody notices because they have silencers on. Like, Hardboiled got crazy with its stunts, and honestly, I should probably rewatch it and see how well it holds up. But it never really got to the point where I felt like I was completely suspending my disbelief. Alright, so we gotta jump across through here, through a window. Oof. Like, fights got messy. Accidents happen. At one point in Hardboiled, there's friendly fire. Like, one of the heroes shoots an undercover cop by accident, and there's no time to process it because the fight's still ongoing. That would pretty much never happen in a Wick movie. Everybody he kills, he intends to kill. So yeah, there was kind of a weight to John Woo's movies that I kind of like. It was less of an issue with the stuff in Hollywood, although there were still some standout gems here and there. Like, that includes Face Off, which I'm convinced is pretty much a perfect movie. Like, can we talk for a little bit about Nick Cage playing John Travolta playing Nick Cage, and Travolta playing Cage playing Travolta? That is some once-in-a-generation level of ham. Like, you need something with Al Pacino, or, like, Brian Blessed in his Flash Gordon days to compete with that. There's acting, and there's acting. Yeah, it's awesome. It's dumb as hell, and I love it. Ready. Ready for the big time, baby. Yeah. Ah, man. The use of your dodge maneuver to get over the railing is a little bit janky. So you saw there, I'm right up against it and sliding. But if you're in motion, then jump, then dodge, and then it becomes a jump. So it's kind of a general purpose maneuver, and sometimes it can work in ways you don't anticipate. Like, it's not the end of the world, honestly. It works well enough for what it is. Just something you kind of have to be aware of. This definitely does have that freshman effort feel to it in places. But honestly, for a two-man team, or two-person team, I honestly don't know who the developers are. But for a two-person team, their debut effort, this is honestly pretty good. I'm pretty impressed with how it came out. Probably make more use of the slow-mo. Ah, shit. The unbearable weight of massive talent adds Nick Cage playing retro Nick Cage playing Travolta as Cage as an extra layer to the mix. Oh, God. We are fortunate to inhabit a universe where that man became an actor. Just, you can occasionally fault the man's performances, you cannot fault his endurance, just willingness to take on basically anything as an actor. I long for that ability to commit myself to a profession. Oh, that's right. Yeah, he is. Yeah, he is a Coppola. There's 3 Cages. Does not care, silly, and actually have an Academy Award for a reason. Yeah, he 100% can put in a legitimately great acting performance with the right material in the right direction. But you're always at least going to get Nicolas Cage hamming it up in some way. And even in a bad movie, he can still be the most entertaining part of that movie. Bad boy. There we go. Fuck yeah. Alright. 26 deaths. Yeah, it sounds about right. Alright, now we can afford something more interesting. Shootout Ku Fangs. I wonder if this is the restaurant I was thinking of. Maybe not. Yes, this is it. This is the track that sold me on Professor Click. I feel like it is just perfectly suited for this kind of game. Ah, shit. I honestly don't mind if I die a whole lot, because the end of this song is just badass. Fortunately, the game will be obliging me on that. shit. Okay. Here's where the song kicks it up a notch. In fact, we're going mic off for this. God, just... I know I'm getting my ass kicked, but that song is so fucking good. I love this. Alright, let's get serious here. Oh, let's get seriouser. On guard! Oh. Alright, serious S time. Let's do this. Gotcha! Oh man, that's probably my favorite level in the whole game. Just the perfect fusion of music and this big, nice-looking environment to destroy a reasonable amount of enemies, lots of entry points. Not too hard a clear time. Yeah, didn't quite make that. That's alright, we're going to keep going. Just, that is this game at its peak. Now, there are other good levels ahead of this. There are other good songs and such, but yeah, if you want... The elevator pitch for that game would just be that move, that level right there. Anyway, Vengeance come out blazing. We'll proceed a bit more, see if we can get to the next boss. There we go. Every now and then the keys don't seem to work. It's not clear why. Alright, let's upgrade some stuff. Yeah, we will... Limited ammo. And here's the thing, the upgrades you get apply to all weapons, including those you find in there. So it's kind of a good idea to upgrade them all. Like, we'll probably get dual-wield SMGs before we finish this up. So we'll stick with pistols for now and see if we can get 4 more points before the end of it. Now, infinite is not exactly infinite, but it does mean you have infinite reload, so you will occasionally have to stop and actually hit the reload button. Only a couple other weapons in the game actually have magazines you can reload with in the traditional sense. So it's not just quite shoot forever, but it does mean you don't necessarily have to pick up other weapons. And really, the dual wields are good all-round performance weapons for just about any situation. If you don't know what you're going to be up against, these will suit you. Hey, Kirby. Yeah, that's been happening a lot tonight. That's quite alright. Hong Kong blood operas do be like that. Life is cheap, bullets are even cheaper. When in doubt, look for places you haven't destroyed yet. Nice! Killed that guy so hard he left the dimension. Beautiful, beautiful. Alright, taking down the house, Golden Horse Casino, Diamond Hill. Oh, actually, I think you get a point regardless of... Because, yeah, we had 6 before, now we have 9, so you must get a point just for clearing the level. I actually didn't know that. Good to know. Alright. Casino. But yeah, a lot of the levels are just kind of generic bad guy hideouts, but occasionally they do something to dress it up in interesting ways. Like, I kind of like the casino level as well. Like, we'll start with a rifle. Yeah, it has that kind of illicit underground feel to it. And again, there's just a ton of nice things in the environment for bullets to react to and destroy. It is definitely the kind of game that is easier to appreciate in motion. Uzi guys are trouble. They are consistently a problem because of that high fire rate, and enemies, unlike you, do not run out of ammo. I didn't even see that guy. Which I think is fair. He was red on a red background. That's just how it works sometimes. Aye. There we go. I kind of hit that guy on accident. You know what, that's okay. I mean, I intended to hit him, just not right that second. Damn. It's easy to get caught up in the spectacle and not necessarily notice whether you're hitting a guy. Like, the blood spray is a pretty good visual cue. But sometimes there's just so much shit being destroyed. And honestly, I think that's fair. Gunfights are chaotic and destructive. The physics should reflect that. Again, this is something that Fear understood very well. Sometimes you get lucky and they line up. Like I said, I'm not 100% sure the positions are randomized, but the way they move around the room kind of is. You'll always have basically the same opposition in room from one retry to the next, but they might be not exactly where you expect them to be. Sometimes, depending on when you slide, you don't quite have the distance you think you do. Because you can't change direction in it, you might stand up into gunfire. So this is definitely a game that tests your situational awareness and ability to change your plan on the fly, to the extent you have one. Alright. Come on, Mr. Detective slash person of indeterminate law enforcement rank. Cover strategy. You're never caught from behind as long as you keep moving forward. Situational awareness, no wonder you're dying. Pretty much. Like I said, sometimes you just feel like an unstoppable badass, but then you overextend just a little bit and you are in fact very stoppable. Again, that's kind of why I like it. Alright, I think I'll need another entry point to that kitchen area. So let's do this. Clear this area out. Level back through here. Pardon me, fellas. I'll take that. Bollocks. Oh, hey, Pecorino. Thank you. Don't mind if I do. Good to see you. How's it going tonight? Tells us in America that's the single zero roulette table. Oh, wow. It's actually a nice attention to detail there. Yeah, it's a Swedish developer, so I'm kind of curious how much research they did before setting up the location. But it feels like I've never been to Hong Kong, certainly not in the 90s. But it feels like a John Woo movie would feel. So I imagine they studied heavily before they started setting up the levels. And I imagine some of this is probably Unity assets or something. I'm not actually sure if it is Unity, but it has that feel to it. But yeah, they do a lot of good work with the look and feel of the environments and the physicality of the way you interact with the environments, and by that I mean shooting the shit out of them. This isn't a game that lingers long in the memory, but there's something about it that I do genuinely like. Everywhere but America usually runs single zero. It'd be really authentic, but there's nothing but Baccarat tables as far as the eye can see. Fair enough. Ooh, lucked out there. That was skin on my fucking teeth. Alright. Let's finish this level. There we go. Got him. Alright. Slow motion. 9 seconds off, but that's okay. That's enough to get us the dualies. Alright. What do we got here? Opium factory. Alright. Yes, sir. So yeah. Uzis are now dual wield, doubling our magazine capacity. That applies even to Uzis we pick up. This makes them a lot more useful as a weapon. It is Unity, okay. Yeah, I kind of thought so. Yeah, they're excellent at clearing out a room. The main limitation is just their lower rate of fire. Like, yeah, that guy was using one Uzi, we get 2 out of it magically. personal best for that level. But yeah, sometimes everything clicks and just you hit the style it's going for. Other times it takes you dozens or even hundreds of times to get through a level. And that's okay. This is not a game that is going to punish you severely. It's just start the level over and try again. You will eventually get it. And which are you going to remember? The 20 times it took you to figure it out, or the one time it all came together? Yeah, it's that Celeste ratio. It's just... the thousands of deaths pave the way for victory. As far as I know, there's nothing that explodes in this game, so you don't have to worry about red barrels or anything. This is purely about the joy of shooting things and shooting people. And oh, what a joy it can be. Uzi guys are bastards. Probably call it after this level. Digging the funk on this guitar, I gotta say. Bollocks. Moving on to Mega Man X Legacy Collection next week, assuming the last Iron Fish. Yeah, Mega Man is brutal at times. I have not actually played the Legacy Collection. It's honestly been a while since I've played the games, but I've seen a few of them on stream, and your brain kind of overrides how difficult those were at the time. Like, it's hard to fairly assess the challenge of a game when it's kind of one of your first games, or sort of early in that. Like, there are exceptions, stuff like, you know, landing the plane in Top Gun, or Battletoads, famously. Yeah, I eventually got through a good chunk of them, right up to, I think, X2, but yeah, I would never say I actually got good at them. I never did play Mega Man Battle Network. I heard good things, though. It was like some kind of... oh, shit. Alright. Ran out of ammo there. I'm not sure there actually is a melee attack in this game. I never tried. ZX ones are considerably easier. Interesting. Yeah, I feel like probably later on they were a little more confident in their design and figured out how to better balance them. About the NES ones. Remember X being more forgiving. Yeah, X I think was honestly kind of the high watermark of the series. I'm not going to say it's the best one, because again, I haven't played them all. But that was definitely one of my favorites of the series, and I think it was one of the more approachable ones. Also had an X in the title. How can you go wrong? X4 to 6, X4. Yeah. Like later ones in the X series were also pretty good. Or, you know, so I heard. That was the thing. Zero was kind of a fun addition to the cast, and it was kind of mind-blowing, I think, in X, where you could collect parts and he would, like, show up later. Whereas if you didn't, he would actually die and stay dead or something. Or, like, he sacrificed himself. I forget exactly how it worked. But you would collect parts that could, like, fix him, and he would, like, show up at the very end to kind of help you out in a way. Yeah, I imagine his moveset. The game probably was not balanced around his moveset, is the thing. so it's kind of something they worked in but didn't really design the entire game around. There we go. Got him! Alright. Hey! Beat the time limit. Nice. Oh, more cutscene time. Hello. You should head back to the kitchen to see Chef Lung. He wanted to talk to you. We all lost something to the two-headed dragon. I lost my brother many years ago. He was a member of the two-headed dragon. After he stole some money from a drug deal, he was executed in cold blood, put to sleep like a dog. Chang Wong was the one who pulled the trigger. Anyway, I know that he and his gang used to hang out in an old apartment down in Lok Fu. If you go there, you might find him. Would you like to taste this snake soup I'm making? You know what? That sounds like it wouldn't be terribly appetizing. I know, probably not Kren's cup of tea, but I would give that a try. I'd be morbidly curious. But yeah, I think we'll call it there. I think you get a broad gist of it. Like I said, there's not a lot to it. It's just one set piece after another with kind of a thin plot stringing along. But I think it's well presented for what it is. It sets out to get that John Woo feel and puts it together with some stylish actions, some great music. And just it's the kind of game you can have fun with for a weekend. Just get the optimum experience from it. It's not terribly long. I think we got probably about 2/5 of the way through it. But yeah, it's a fun game. I like it a lot. And of the various Hotline Miami off-brand imitators, I think this is one of the stronger ones. So yeah, thanks everyone for tuning in. Have a good night. We will be back to Weird West on Saturday. Till then, see you next time.